Hi everyone, welcome back to the Behind the Scenes series. Today, I'll walk you through this time-lapse on the inventory dashboard. All the resources are available for download in the description. Follow along as we build the entire dashboard from scratch. If you'd like to see the dashboard in action, click the link above to check out the full functionality. Let's dive in and start building this dashboard with a blank Power BI file. First, let's import our data from Excel. Select the data file, choose the worksheets you need, and click Transform Data. In the Query Editor, select the Sales table. Highlight all columns showing sales quantities at various locations by selecting the first column, holding Shift, and clicking the last column. Go to the Transform ribbon, click on Pivot Columns. Rename the Attribute column to Location and the Value column to Sales Quantity. For the calendar or date table, reuse the existing one by copying the dim date table from the template and pasting it into the new file. With our data tables set up, click Home in the ribbon and select Close and Apply. This will load the data into Power BI. Head over to the Model view, where Power BI will automatically create relationships for fields with matching names. Always double-check these relationships for accuracy. Power BI has automatically linked product ID. Now, let's create a relationship between sales date and dim date. Simply drag sales date to dim date to establish the connection. Back in the report view, we'll start by loading the canvas background. Open the Format pane, select Canvas Background, and choose your image file. Adjust the transparency to 0 for a crisp look. The inventory dashboard has 2 pages, so let's add a new page and apply the canvas background. Rename the pages for easy navigation. Next, let's add the dashboard title. Click on Text box from the Home ribbon, choose the font style and size, and type Inventory Dashboard. Format the text box for size and position, and remove the background for a clean look. Copy the title to the stock page for consistency. To add navigation buttons at the top, go to Insert, under Button, choose Page Navigator. Adjust the button size and position. Then customize the button's appearance in the different states. Default, Selected, and Hover. For the line under Aging, go to Shapes and select Line. Adjust its size, color, and position. Copy both the line and button, paste them onto the stock page, and reposition the line. To test the button, hold down Ctrl and click on the Aging button. This should navigate you to the Aging page. Let's create a measure table to organize all measures. Click Enter Data. Name it Measure Table, and click Load. Right-click the measure table and create a new measure for Inventory KTI. You can get all the DAX formula from the BI template. Format it as a whole number with commas. Create another measure for Inventory Value and format it as currency with 0 decimals. Delete the column 1 in the measure table for a cleaner view. We'll need a parameter to toggle between our measures on the Aging dashboard view. Go to Modeling, select New Parameter, and choose Fields. Then select the 2 new measures, rename them, and click Create. Change the slicer to New Slicer. Format and adjust its settings to match your dashboard design. Update the font and the button setting for both default and selected state for a polished look. Let's work on the first visual for inventory aging. It is using big numbers to show the inventory for different aging groups. Add a text box for label 1 to 3 months, then format the size and position of the label. Copy this for the other labels. I'll demonstrate for the second label and skip the last 3. You can follow the same steps for the remaining labels. Next, we'll create the necessary columns for aging in the table view. Right-click Stock Table to add new column for aging and change data type to whole number. Add another column to group the aging. To sort the aging groups correctly, create a dummy table with the aging order. Go to Model View to establish their relationships. Back at the table view, create the sorting column. Then sort aging group by the newly created sorting column. While at the table view, let's also create the column for the computation of lead time, and take note to convert data type to whole number. Also, for the dim date table, we need to sort the year-month column. Return to the report view. In the report view, insert a new card and drag parameter to data. This card is for the period 1 to 3 months. Add aging group to filter for this specific group. Format the card. First, resize and reposition it. Update the padding and remove the background. Change the font type, size, color, and alignment. Turn off the label, as we already have our labels. Update the card setting for padding, background, and border. We've finished the first card. Copy it for the others. For the next card, update the filter selection for the aging group and adjust the card position. You can apply the same steps to the rest of the cards. Next, for the location visuals, add pie chart for each location. And drag aging group to legend and parameter to values. Add location to filter for each specific location. And filter out blanks for aging group. Format the chart. Resize, adjust its position, and remove the background. Customize the title for each location. Remove the legend. Change the slice's colors for all the categories. Increase the slice spacing to create enough room for the total number to fit comfortably. To add the total number in the center, use a card visual for a parameter. Similarly, add location to filter for specific location. Format the card's size and style. And update the font format. Turn off the card label, as it's not needed for this visual. Then adjust the card settings to integrate the total number with the pie chart. Then position the card beneath the pie chart. For the next location, replicate the card visual. Reposition the duplicated card. And change the filter selection to the next location. Repeat these steps for the last location. Let's go back and complete the pie charts. Duplicate the first chart to create one for the next location. Update the chart title for accuracy. And change the filter to display the second location. Just like the total number card, follow these steps for the last location. Moving on to the next chart, insert a decomposition tree, add parameter to analyze, and for explain by, add fields like aging group, brand, and product. Filter out blanks for aging group and format the chart. For the decomposition chart, adjust the settings and customize the colors of the connectors and bars. For a consistent font format, we need to adjust the category labels, values, headers, and subtitles. Power BI provides the flexibility to customize each of these elements. Once the decomposition chart is formatted, expand it to showcase its drill-down capabilities. As shown, the inventory quantity is initially broken down by aging group, and then further categorized by brands and product groups. We are done with the aging dashboard view. Let's move on to the stock view. Add a card for total inventory and adjust its size, style, and formatting for a professional look. Format the label and position it below the value. Choose the rounded rectangle shape to give the card rounded corners, to be consistent in the dashboard design. Apply a glow effect to soften the card's edges. Note to select Offset Inside. Next, we'll work on the filters at the left. Insert a rounded rectangle and format the shape for size, position, and color. Turn on text to customize the label of the first filter. Copy it to replicate for the next label. Simply update its position, fill color, and text for the second label. Repeat these steps for the next two labels. Now, let's work on the slicer. Insert a slicer and for the first one, add location to the data field. Format the slicer's size and style. Adjust slicer setting to drop down and include Select All for its options. The first slicer is done. Duplicate it to create the second slicer. Adjust the new slicer's position and change the data field to brand. Follow the same steps for the third and fourth slicers. Next, create measures for sales quantity, sales select, and last 12 months. These three measures are essential for the sales trend graph. Then insert a line chart and drag year month to the x-axis and sales select to the y-axis. Rename sales quantity to display properly in the chart tooltip. Add last 12 month to filter chart to show only the last 12 months. Adjust the size of the chart and place it in the designated area. Customize the title of the sales trend chart. Remove the values and title of both x-axis and y-axis for a cleaner, less clustered look. Set the line to a smooth style and update its color as well. Moving on, we will create a parameter for inventory breakdown by fields like location, brand, product group, and aging. Rename the selected fields for clarity and click on Create. Format the slicer and position it on the dashboard for ease of use. Change the slicer to a drop-down format and restrict it to single selection only. Lastly, update the font style and background color for the values. With the drop-down complete, we can now move on to the tree map. Insert a tree map chart, then add breakdown to category and inventory quantity to values as well as tooltips. For the inventory quantity at tooltips, set the values as percentage of grand total to provide additional information. Format the chart by updating size, position, padding, and font to match the dashboard design. Update the color for the tree map categories. As the tree map categories depend on the inventory breakdown slicer, we'll also need to adjust the colors for each slicer option. Select each category individually and update its color accordingly. I'll speed things up here to save time. After we're done with the tree map, we'll move on to creating several measures needed for the final table visuals. Right-click the measure table to insert a new measure for max daily sales, followed by max lead, average daily sales, and average lead. Be sure to format average daily sales as whole number. These measures are essential for calculating safety stock and reorder points. Also, remember to format both safety stock and reorder points as whole numbers with commas. We'll then create a measure status to determine whether the current inventory level is above or below the safety stock and reorder point, and finally, 2 more measures to track the next order delivery date and quantity for the table. Next, we'll add a table visual and include key data fields such as product ID, product, inventory quantity, status, safety stock, reorder point, next order date, quantity, and average daily sales. Once the fields are renamed, format the table by adjusting its size, position, and grid border color. Customize the font for values and column headers. Disable the auto size width. Remove the totals. Align the next order delivery date to the right. Lastly, adjust the table column widths as needed. Be sure to sort the table by the status field to easily identify which products have fallen below the safety stock level. And there you have it, a complete time-lapse step-by-step guide on building the inventory dashboard from scratch. If you're looking for more dashboard tips and templates, be sure to check out my earlier videos. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.